City News on 97.3 FM. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
It's 1700 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu. And coming up over the next 2 hours, the Supreme Court has thrown out Ofoase Anyerebi Member of Parliament Kojo Nkrumah's application seeking to injunct some high courts from conducting criminal trials during the legal vacation. We'll tell you more on what the Supreme Court decided. Also, coming up, over 50 persons, including incarcerated Chairman Wontumi, pick up forms to contest for various national positions of the New Patriotic Party.
Yes, indeed, the campaign team have picked up forms on behalf of Chairman Wontumi. We continue his bet in the national chairmanship race for the NPP.
And later on Eyewitness News, we return to the Bolga Girls Senior High School, where some NGOs in the space are demanding some level of protection for children in schools. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. We have business news later on the show and talk back. We'll be receiving your messages on WhatsApp number 0539986996, 0539986996. Alternatively, on Twitter, my handle is at Umaru Sanda or mention at City973. Use the hashtag Eyewitness News and the world will get to hear what you think. Eyewitness News is live across the world on YouTube and on Facebook. Just look for Citi FM. We are on our website, citynewsroom.com, and we are also on other affiliate stations that I'll be sharing with you in the course of the program. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. So we start off with the Supreme Court. Today, the court sat to hear the injunction application brought by the Member of Parliament for Ofoase Anyerebi Kojo Nkrumah, seeking to have a judicial pronouncement on that debate that has been raging over the past 2 weeks over the hearings of some courts, or the hearing by some courts of cases during this particular legal vacation. Hansen Ajeman is our legal affairs correspondent. He's in studio with me. Hansen, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sanda.
Now, first of all, explain, the Supreme Court sat, but we saw only one judge's name on there. Usually we know that the Supreme Court has a number of justices on the bench. What happened?
So the Supreme Court, in the exercise of its regular or original jurisdiction, which is to interpret and enforce the Constitution, will usually have persons or judges seated not less than 5, and if it is exercising its review jurisdiction, there will be an additional 2 judges who will be added to the bench. However, the Superior Court and from the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court may have a single judge preside over interlocutory matters or applications, as is in this way. So once there's an injunction application, the Supreme Court is not exercising its original jurisdiction, and so one judge is equipped to hear such application. And in this matter, Justice Gabriel Scott Palman was the one designated to hear the application.
So this happened during the vacation in relation to the vacation?
Essentially.
I think the irony is not lost on anybody. But so what was Honorable Nkrumah trying to do, first of all?
Well, first, the lawyers for the accused persons have argued that they are not opposed to legal vacation courts handling criminal matters. And their point is, where in criminal matters, trial is supposed to go on during legal vacation, and it is without the consent of the lawyers of the accused persons. And they define trial to be where there's the leading of evidence, there's cross-examination and examination. They've been going back and forth with the prosecution, with the trial judges at the High Court, and also petitioned the Chief Justice to reconsider the decision for some selected judges to hold criminal trials during the legal vacation period. Having not been successful in these steps, they then not the accused persons. In this instance, Kojo Nkrumah, who believe that there's a serious constitutional issue to be dealt with, then invoked the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court for the Supreme Court to interpret the Constitution vis-a-vis the warrant that was issued by the Chief Justice to say that the actions of the Chief Justice are unconstitutional and to an extent discriminatory. But before that particular case is dealt with or disposed of, he then filed an application for the Supreme Court to stay the hearing of the holding of criminal trials of these cases during the vacation period. It is that application that the Supreme Court, presided over by Justice Gabriel Scott Powman, dismissed without arguing that they could not substantiate the grounds for which injunction should be granted. And some of the specific reliefs that were sought by Kojo Nkrumah include a declaration that warrants of the Honorable Chief Justice directing some judges to sit and conduct criminal trials in selected cases during the legal vacation is inconsistent with the letter and spirit of Article 17(1)(2), Article 23, and Article 296A and B of the 1992 Constitution. A declaration that the action of the Honorable Chief Justice to promote and facilitate the hearing of special criminal cases in courts in the legal vacation to the total neglect of other criminal cases is tantamount to selective justice, which contravenes the letter and spirit of Article 17(1) of the Constitution 1992 and therefore unconstitutional, null and void. And so these are some of the reliefs that they were seeking as far as the substantive suit is concerned.
But today was not the main case that was dealt with. It was just an injunction application.
It was an injunction application.
To prevent what? All high courts or just a certain high courts from sitting?
So essentially to prevent the courts that have been issued with warrants from the Chief Justice to hear criminal cases during the legal vacation.
And what did the Justice Scott Powman say?
Justice Scott Powman argued in his ruling that they were not able to meet the legal threshold for which injunction should be granted. That first, there should be a serious question of constitutional, a serious constitutional question that arises out of the suit, and also that there should be some irreparable damage to the plaintiff if the matters are not stayed. In his analysis, he indicated that if you look at the practice directions, there are rules with respect to handling of cases during the legal vacation when it comes to civil cases, but there are no specific rules necessarily
for criminal
cases. But that in itself does not preclude the Chief Justice in giving directions to that end. He went further to say that if you look at the criminal jurisprudence of Ghana, there's a need to encourage speedy and efficient resolution of cases. And he believes that the directive as has been given by the Chief Justice for some criminal cases to be tried during the legal vacation goes to push for that constitutional mandate for matters to be for a speedy determination of criminal cases. And with respect to the argument that it amounts to selective justice, he says in his respective view, it rather leads to promoting the delivery of justice rather than being selective, even though it remains to some cases and not all cases. And he says that the fact that it relates to some cases does not necessarily mean that the Chief Justice is encouraging or engaging in what the plaintiffs and applicants in this matter have described as selective justice.
All right. So, did you get reactions from either the Honourable Member of Parliament or the Attorney General Department after the decision of the court?
We didn't get any reaction from the Attorney General's office, represented by Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Shremsai. However, Kojo Nkrumah, who is the plaintiff in this matter as well as applicant, spoke to the media. His lawyer, Frank Davis, also spoke to us, and they indicated that they had requested for the certified true copy of the ruling and that they would advise themselves and take actions when necessary, and indicated that they are considering the option of seeking a review of the Supreme Court's decision.
So I'll let us listen to the Honorable Kojo Nkrumah, whom you spoke to after court, but the Deputy Attorney General did not grant you an interview. However, he went on Facebook and posted something I want to read for our audience. He says, the plaintiff applicant and his lawyers built their case on the allegation that the Chief Justice has assigned some quote-unquote selected cases to 2 judges to hear during the legal vacation. So they applied for an injunction against the 2 judges. In court, however, their own evidence shows that the allegation was a deliberate falsehood. Their Exhibit D shows that the CJ's warrant was general and not specific to any particular case. Worse is Exhibit E, which shows that as many as 29 judges, not 2, are sitting during the legal vacation. The point, however, is that they have succeeded in preventing the courts from working for 1 week. Never underestimate the power of deliberate falsehood. That's Justice Shremsai. And he continues to say, still on the issue of deliberate falsehood, this is the plaintiff's first relief in the writ, and he reproduces that. Then he said, this is what the Attorney General said in paragraph 9 of this affidavit, and he reproduces that. Then he continues and makes a summary by saying, for the first time, the court has admitted that the plaintiff does, in fact, he said, the plaintiff, okay, I think he's engaging in another banter on social media. So that's Justice Shremsai, Deputy Attorney General. Let's now hear from Honorable Kojo Nkrumah.
The court has dismissed the injunction application, but in the ruling, some very interesting pronouncements have been made. For the first time, the courts have admitted that some cases have been treated differently. Those are the words of the judge. They are being treated differently and expeditiously. Why? He doesn't say so. But then he proceeds to say that, in his opinion, that will not amount to a violation of the constitutional articles that we have raised in this particular matter, and that he thinks that that will even be in the interest of the accused persons. We've asked for a certified copy so that we can peruse it some more, and then on the advice of counsel, we'll take the next.
So that's Honorable Kojo Nkrumah. He is Member of Parliament who went to court on the hearing of some cases, criminal cases, that is, the High Court during the legal vacation. His application has been thrown out. So Hansen, what next in this matter?
Well, the date for the substantive matter has not been given yet at the Supreme Court. But then we know that in one of the criminal courts, where the buffer stock case involving Hanan Abdul Wahab and his wife, as well as in the Edubuahin case, the judge adjourned the case in waiting for the decision of the Supreme Court. The return date is on August 25, and so what it means is that on August 25, the court would continue with business. In the Edubuahin case, the fourth prosecution witness, who we are made to believe is the last of the prosecution witnesses to be presented in that case, the counsel is supposed to continue with cross-examination. And then in the Hanan case, the state is expected to call its first prosecution witness.
So this decision today means that the High Court can now continue with the hearing.
Essentially,
that's what it means. Okay, thank you so much. Let's shift gear from the judiciary or the Supreme Court. I want us to do some politics. The NPP is readying itself for national elections, and there's a vacancy for national offices. And a lot of people have been picking up forms. We are hearing that over 50 persons have already picked up forms. And strangely, one of them is Bernard Nchibo, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, who is currently serving jail term in Sawam prison. We are told that he has gone to pick those forms. You have an eye on the NPP headquarters. What have you picked up so far?
What we know is that Chairman Wontumi picked up his nomination form was picked on his behalf by some supporters of his, and already his group or members of his team, including Dr. Palgrave Wachidankwa, who is spokesperson to Chairman Wontumi as far as this campaign is concerned, has served notice that Chairman Wontumi was going to contest despite despite the fact that he is in prison serving a 15-year jail sentence. Apart from Chairman Wontumi for the chairmanship position, so far 3 other persons have picked up their forms, including Boache Jakun, John Buedu, and Paul Afoko. So these 4 persons, as of now, are seeking to lead the New Patriotic Party for the next 4 years and seeking to get the mandate of delegates on October 3. First vice chairperson, that is the position that usually will have a lot of people contesting. We're told that by
they take
count,
this once.
They take 3.
Okay.
So the contest is actually for first vice chair.
So it's just one.
But essentially, at the end of the day, the constitution makes way for 2 other persons in the order of the highest votes.
Okay.
And so by the time they'll be done with the conference or congress, you would get first vice chair, second vice chair, and third vice chair of the NPP. We're told that about 17 persons have picked up forms to contest as first vice chair of the party. And some of the names we received so far is Bright Esirifi Kumi. He contested as national youth organizer, lost to Nana B, and contested him again as national organizer and lost again. And so, but he's seeking now to come as first vice chair of the party. Then there's Richard Ahiagba, who is the party's director of communications. He's seeking to become first vice chair. There's Mustafa Hamid, former NPA boss, former communications minister, former press secretary to information minister, former press secretary to Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo,
an educationist,
and an educationist,
and a sheikh, a former lecturer at UCC,
seeking to become
and a wallahi and a saver of this nation.
He has to save the nation,
rescuer of this nation.
So he's seeking to become the first vice chairperson of the NPP. There's Henry Nana Boache. He's the current national organizer, making a step further to become the first vice chairperson of the party.
It's a very crowded place. 17 people.
Yes.
Who else?
Then there's our very own Buga Buga.
Chairman Buga
Masaudi Osman. He's currently the third vice chair, and he's seeking to. So that means that he contested last year, last 4 years, and out of the lot, he was a third person. And this time around, he's seeking to either maintain but I guess looking to be the ultimate first vice chairperson. And then there's the USA chairperson of the NPP, Obaya Amponsa Frempong. She's seeking to relocate to Ghana for purpose. She's the USA chairperson of the NPP to contest. And then Abankwah Yeboah, former treasurer of the party.
He lost the last election.
He contested, I think, for flag bearer.
Was that where he went to?
Yes.
And he lost.
Hey, and
he's going for vice chairman.
Now he's going for vice
chairman.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's Sampai, former Kumasi mayor,
former MP,
former MP. is seeking to. So these are the names that we've captured so far, but
of the 17 who picked up,
our sources with the team indicated
for vice chair.
For vice chair.
Okay, so we have national chair, 4 people, including Chairman Wontumi, picking forms, or having forms picked on their behalf. Then 17 for vice chair. Yeah. Who else?
Then we have the general secretary position. Eugene Boakye-Ntwi, former Subin MP. Form has been picked for him. Sylvester Tete, former Botiano English Amanfro MP.
Former aspirant as candidate for Ningo Pram Pram.
And Dr. Charles Jamna. Dr. Charles Jamna currently is the treasurer of the NPP. He's seeking to move up to become the general secretary of the party. These are the 3 persons as of yet we know, or
so that's the public information we have,
that they have picked forms. We know that there are some other persons seeking for the secretary position.
Did you mention GFK?
Not yet. Because,
okay, so we don't know whether he has picked up or not.
But we know he's campaigning.
Okay.
And 2 more days to go for
close. Oh, the deadline is on Sunday.
It's on Saturday.
Oh, okay, Saturday.
For close of nomination.
Okay.
And then there's national organizer position. Titus Glover, MP3.
Daniel New Quartet, Titus Glover.
Former Tema East MP.
Former Greater Accra Minister. Former Table Demolisher.
That I don't know of.
Okay, continue.
He's seeking to be
former Deputy Transport Minister.
Yes,
that one
that one I know very well. He's seeking to lead a party's organization, and he's facing competition from Kwame Prempeh Amo. He is a former deputy CEO at the Public Procurement Authority.
Okay.
And then there's one Nana Kwejo, known mainly as Nana K. We are told that a group of party serial callers went to the party headquarters to pick his nomination form. We know that Salam Mustafa, the current youth organizer, is seeking to become national organizer, but we don't have information as of yet whether he's picked.
Okay.
And then there's national youth organizer. So there's Chris Lloyd. He's a deputy organizer. He's deputy to Nanabi at the moment as the organizer secretariat of the party. You remember Chris Lloyd? He was attacked during the Avle. Is it rerun?
Yes. Election rerun.
Oh. And there's also your very good friend.
Are you sure he's my very good friend?
Alfred Kumi Ababio.
No. When you say he's my very good friend and they are looking for him to catch him, they may come for me. Okay. Oh, he has also picked forms. And then there's Clement Poku. He is usually called CID, former DCE, and he's also seeking to lead the youth wing. Previously, a name popped up, Atek Yakubu, but we're told that he might have withdrawn from the race. Obviously, until close of day tomorrow or Saturday, before close of day tomorrow, Saturday actually, before we're able to find out if indeed he's contesting or he's not contesting. And then there's also one name, Abanga. Obiabe
Didi Peche. He contested last 4 years, gave Salam Mustafa a good run for his money.
He was
he's campaigning.
We don't have for youth organizing.
Youth organizing.
He hasn't outgrown youth.
Youth is 40. He was my mate in school.
So, really? Abang was your mate?
So I don't think he's outgrown.
But his twin brother is a national vice chairman of the NDC.
Yes.
Charlie, this is interesting. They are twins. Like they came out of the same. Is it egg or yolk? I don't know the proper.
You can give it your own character.
No, it's not character. You didn't do biology. You didn't do.
So both of them, yes. So they are both of them are twins.
His twin brother is national vice chairman of NDC.
Of
like
NDC.
Big. He's just a heartbeat away from
national chairman.
So if Chairman Mosquito is not there, he's the one.
Yeah.
And his twin brother, I think he contested parliaments.
He went for member of parliament for a win.
He
didn't win, but again he gave a very good showing. In our win.
No, but even the youth organizer thing, I remember.
Yes.
And you know my problem in this life, because I look like them. When I go to MPP
people
rallies,
think you are one of them.
When I go to MPP rally, they see me, they say, "Obiabe did and shout peche."
You have something for them.
Then when I realize they need something, I say, "Boys, I'm I'm not a banger. Then when I go to NDC events too, they say chairman. Then I say, I beg you, I'm not. I can't drop nothing.
But you collect the funds before you.
I collect the funds first. Then, no, some don't believe it is not me. So I have to Google and show them my photo that this is me. I'm not a banger.
Yes, so a banger is yet to pick his forms.
Okay.
And but he's been campaigning. We've seen videos of him campaigning. Then there's the new role that is an elective position. That's the communications director position.
Okay.
And then it's Miracles Abuaje. He has picked this form.
But why not giving me his title? Who is he? Former what? Former IMC,
former interministerial coordinating committee on
local government
decentralization.
He's the former
spokesperson to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Former MCE.
Former MCE for the good people of Akuapem South.
Former friend of Iyoko.
I think you're still a good friend of Iyoko.
Okay. Former visitor to Iyoko.
Yes, and then there's your good friend again, Gordon Asare-Bediako.
Gordon Asare-Bediako of ABC News.
Is it Woon to me?
No, his newspaper is called ABC. So I think he does newspaper by night and Woon to Me TV by day.
Oh, he's doing 24 hours already.
He's doing 24 hours. Gordon Asare-Bediako.
Yeah, so he's also seeking...
Formerly of Oman FM.
Yes. So
he left Oman FM because he didn't support Kennedy Japan. And so he had to leave and go and support. So he was doing Dr. Bawumia and Kennedy said, hey, you don't support me. So he went to Woon to Me. Because Woon to Me, that was like Bawumia Pro Max, So Gordon Asare-Bediako, journalist.
Yes, so both of them will be, as of now, these are the people.
There are the only two going.
They are the only two persons going. There are some other positions that we are yet to get the complete list, like the Nasara organizer position, and then the treasurer position.
Women, have you mentioned women?
And then women's organizer. Women's organizer. Is she your sister?
Now they are giving me attributes like this. Yes.
How Kumsen?
Oh, that's my grandmother.
Okay.
No, I'm her. She's my granddaughter because I'm her grandfather. She said her grandfather is called Umaru, so I'm her grandfather.
Grandson or granddaughter?
No, she's my granddaughter. I'm her grandfather.
Oh, okay. So Hawa Kumsin is contesting for the women.
Mavis Hawa Kumsin.
Yes, former
Kaswa MP.
Ewuti Senya East constituency MP.
Former minister for special initiatives.
And she went to fisheries.
Yes, fisheries and aquaculture.
Closed the sea a couple of times.
Former sea closer.
Yeah.
And that's not all. Former PEU.
That one I cannot.
Former shooter general.
Hey, how? Yeah, so she's seeking to lead the women's front of the New Patriotic Party.
Is she going alone?
No, she's contested by Perpetua Lomoki. Lomoki. She was a deputy to Nana B when Nana B was the organizer.
Oh.
And then there's Hajia Safia Mohammed. And Hajia Safia Mohammed was the party's women organizer in the Savannah region.
Oh, and I think she's been coming on Breakfast Daily, or it's not the same person?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So these are the 3 persons so far for the position of women's organizer who have picked their forms. And one news is that the party says it is extending the period for filing of nominations. So it was supposed to have begun the filing of nominations from Sunday and end on the 27th of August, but it is extending it to the 29th of August. And then vetting will take place, vetting chaired by former sanitation minister Cecilia Benadapa. After that, there's an appeals committee chaired by Jogate, and then the party will then bring out the notice of poll letters by September 16th, and then the Congress itself is in the Ashanti region on October 3, 2026, where the party will elect new national officers.
Hansen, I have someone on the line. I want you to help me. Let's do this interview. So do stay with me. Frederick Ompari Ansan. He's the chairman of the NPP National Elections Committee. He's a former plenty things.
Former MP.
Former communication something. Former aspirant for general secretary or something.
You have to. And he's in charge of Dr. Bawumia's committee for reaching out to various distinct groups.
Oh, okay, but he has
so very soon he'll be reaching out to journalists.
I'm going to ask him why he didn't do that. Mr. Barnes, good evening and welcome to Eyewitness News. Hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
I'm very well. But I don't know why your line is very faint.
Oh, is it? We're trying to do some tweaking. Can you hear me? Is it better?
Yeah, it's getting better.
Thank God. My technical crew here is very, very powerful.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I mean, you have a communication background, and so these things this is your TEF. How are you doing? You are in charge of the team that Dr. Bawumia set up to reach out to specialized groups ahead of the campaign. You have not come to read the media yet. When will you come to us?
There are things we do in the media. There are things we do at home and behind the scenes.
But you should come and meet us. We want you to organize and come and meet us as well. Then we also tell you what is
on. You have delved into Dr. Bawumia's affairs and found out what I'm doing. So you're always welcome to talk to me.
Hey, boss, how are your election preparations going?
So far, I must say we are on course with our plans. Everything is on course as programmed. We had occasion to vary the dates for filing of nominations, which we put out earlier today. Otherwise, everything is on course as planned.
So, what is your committee really supposed to do? The committee in charge of the election. What are you supposed to do? What are you doing? What have you done?
Well, in a nutshell, we are supposed to organize the entire conference and the election. And so everything to do with going to Kumasi, everything we'll be doing in Kumasi, the preparations thereof, ferrying all the delegates to the conference, accommodating them, feeding them, the electoral process, security, engaging the electoral commission, engaging police, ensuring that prospective aspirants have duly picked up forms, filed their nomination, gotten vetted. If any of them have appeals, to appeal, the process is available to them, and getting the National Executive Committee and National Council to duly confirm their candidature. Every part of the process is in our hands.
Interesting. Now, so security, number of delegates, the album, which is a crucial part, are you done compiling that? Are you the one supposed to compile that?
It is all part of our remit. Unfortunately, we cannot be done yet. As you very well know, the regions just had their election this past weekend, and a number of them are currently in the process of doing their appointments. They have a number of appointments to do, appointing the appointed officers to the region, and also new council members and all that. It's also being done by those regions. And they themselves, their election, they will finish that one, and then they will forward those regional albums to the national office for inclusion in the master register, because they started from the polling station, came to the electoral area, came to constituencies. So as of now, I would say the constituency albums, the TESCON ones, are all being incorporated into the register, perhaps with the overseas branches. But currently, they are awaiting the regional albums to include in the register.
Okay, now the picking up of forms would end on Sunday. We are hearing
it will end tomorrow.
It's ending tomorrow. We've heard that as of today, over 50 people have picked forms. Can you confirm that?
Yeah, it is exactly 50. As of close of the secretariat today, 50 people have picked up forms.
Why have you sold forms to Chairman Wontumi?
I wasn't at the secretariat today, but nothing stops anybody from buying a form. I cannot confirm or deny if Wontumi picked up forms today. I've heard reports of it. I've gotten the statistics of how many people picked up forms today and the breakdown, the chairman category, vice chair category. I'm yet to receive the end of day report, which will tell me exactly which persons picked up forms. But as of yesterday, Chairman had not picked the form, so I can't really comment on that. But I can tell you that the eligibility of aspirants is not determined by the Secretariat, it's determined by the vetting committee. And so if you, Umaru Sanda, some claim you are NDC, some claim you are CPP, some claim you are other political parties, I don't know. But if you showed up there to buy...
But you didn't add some claim I'm MPP, or you've not heard the claim of MPP yet. It's only NDC you've heard.
No, I mentioned all. I said CPP.
No, you said NDC and CPP.
I didn't add MPP.
You don't want me to be part of the LFantes. We need symbol. Okay, continue.
So some are making all kinds. If Umaru Sanda shows up at our secretariat tomorrow to buy forms, they'll sell it to you. But you will have to, as it were, prove to the committee that you meet our eligibility criteria, which will determine whether you can enter the contest or not. So there is no barrier to anybody picking up forms. Indeed, the forms are available online. So you could actually download the forms and then come and file. It is only when you appear before the vetting committee that if there is any reason why you cannot be cleared to contest, then that will come up.
Okay, so after this, you would go through the vetting, and then the forms will be submitted before you do the vetting. So I'm wondering how far you can
filing of nominations will start on Sunday, and that is really the thrust of our communication to the press today. That we were extending it by 2 days. It was supposed to end on Thursday, but looking at the level of interest that has been shown so far, we felt that the 5 days might not be adequate to give people adequate and ample time and room to do the filing. So we've added 2 days to end it on Saturday.
At what stage would you need the candidate to be physically present, without which you cannot proceed with the registration? I'm asking this minded by the fact that Chairman Wontumi is in Nsawam.
The rules of the vetting is entirely in the hands of the vetting committee. We've provided the guidelines and their terms of reference to them. They've started their meetings today. So if they decide that every aspirant needs to be physically present, they will not allow tele-vetting. That will be the rule of the game. I don't have all the vetting rules at my fingertip as we speak. And whether the authorities might even allow somebody that's incarcerated to appear before a vetting committee, all those don't sit with me. So I would say that let us cross that bridge when we get to the river shore. So don't let's hasten to close the doors on people. If it is true that Chairman's team picked up a form, or Chairman himself came to pick a form, I'm sure by close of day I'll have the facts. And also, as to whether he can pass through vetting or cannot pass through vetting, it is not a matter of speculation. It is just a matter of time.
Okay, thank you. I would like to leave us, but just one question. So the vetting committee is a subset of your committee, right?
Absolutely.
And you chose the former member of parliament, former minister Cecilia Abinadapa, to chair the vetting committee?
The committee chose all the members of the vetting committee and all the other members of all the other subcommittees. We have quite a number of subcommittees under us. We have the appeals committee. We have a committee on security, on transportation, on accommodation, secretariat, accreditation, and register. There's a health committee. There's a safety committee. It's quite a number of committees. It's a whole lot of people who have been asked to come and support our work, and we are grateful when people actually accept to serve the party in any capacity.
It's just because when the name came up as she chairing the committee, many people are wondering why you brought her from peaceful retirement to come and subject her to the public, considering the last time she exited the public scene was not on a very healthy ground.
I haven't heard anything like that.
Hey, my boss, are you sure? You that you have ears on the ground everywhere.
Omar, you owe me something, you know that.
It's okay, let's leave it here. Thank you so much. We'll discuss that in private. That's Honorable Frederick Opariansa. He's chairman of the NPP National Elections Committee. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Hansen, so how much does it cost to run for these offices that are vacant now?
Well, for nothing at all, the nomination form, if you want to contest for chairman,
just to buy the forms.
Just to buy the form, you have to pay 50,000 cedis.
50. 500 million old cedis.
50,000 cedis
for the national chairman.
For the national chairman, and for the first vice
and
chair.
4 people have bought forms now.
You want to calculate for the party?
Yeah, I'm checking how much they are making. So 4 people have
that's 20. That's 200,000.
200,000. Okay, next.
And then for
cash at hand.
For first vice chair, 30,000 cedis.
And 17 people have paid.
Have paid.
The calculator has jammed. Okay.
And then for general secretary, 25,000.
But why would they make general secretary is supposed to take? Because general secretary is like the administrator of the party.
Yeah, in terms of duty and what you're supposed to do.
But hierarchy-wise,
vice
is senior.
The vice is senior.
Okay.
Because in the absence of the chairperson, the vice will have to act. Will have to act.
Okay.
And then for all other positions, 10,000 Ghana cedis. But for specific wings like the youth organizer, Nasara organizer, and women's organizer, a discounted fee of 8,000 Ghana cedis.
They don't have any special one for if a woman is speaking forms or a person with disability. They don't have anything.
No, so
like
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing of a sort.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Hansen, for joining us in studio. Hansen Ajiman is my colleague here in the Citi Newsroom, helping us make sense of the issues from the Supreme Court and also the New Patriotic Party. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll return with more. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Everybody they sell, but your shop they empty.
Where's my report?
Bro, month no end yet too. But see, your pocket stop they think. Another emergency for the house.
Come get ideas. Ideas go kill them.
Another idea, another mark time. No capital to start. For some people, this silence no be peaceful. It be money matter.
With bills, there's no need for silence. From my emergency loans to salary loans to working capital loans and startup loans, Bills has you covered.
Apply with your Ghana card today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390. Bills, financing your needs. T's and C's apply.
Looking for engineering excellence you can trust?
Welcome to Left Signature Limited, driving progress through technology and engineering excellence.
From expert electrical engineering design, installation, power systems, renewable energy, automation and control,
to reliable data center and managed services, power infrastructure, network connectivity, server virtualization, cloud integration and data security,
and cutting-edge software development, custom business applications, web and mobile apps, cloud and DevOps solutions.
Integrity, safety, accountability, teamwork. That's the Left Signature promise.
And now, introducing the Left Power app.
Request for our services anytime, anywhere. Available on the Play Store, App Store, and on the web.
Ready to power your success?
Choose Left Signature Limited. Visit www.leftsignature.com.
Call +233 256 111 811.
Left Signature Limited. Engineering excellence for a connected future.
Put your
Northern Ghana is making history. The Ghana Exim Bank and North Shore Apro Ghana Limited proudly invite you to the official opening of Phase 1 of the North Shore Apro Hub, a wholly Ghanaian-owned Apro manufacturing enterprise under the 24-hour economy initiative. Funded by the Ghana Exim Bank and partners, this landmark project will create 3,000 jobs at commissioning and up to 10,000 jobs at full operation. His Excellency, the President, John Dramani Mahama, will officially commission the facility, joined by the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofosue-Jare, and the Chief Executive of the Ghana Exim Bank, Sylvester Attah-Mensah. Date, Friday, 28 August 2026. Time, 12 noon. Venue, North Shore Apro Hub, Sabalugu, near Tamale in the Northern region. Join us as we celebrate Ghanaian enterprise, job creation, and a bold step towards industrial transformation.
Your child can excel academically and in the sports they love and are good at. At Prodigy International Academy, we believe every child deserves to excel in the classroom, on the field, and in life. With an internationally recognized curriculum, an elite sports program, modern, well-serviced boarding facilities, and a strong foundation in Christian values, Prodigy nurtures confident, skilled, and well-rounded learners who are prepared for a global future. Here, sports and academics go hand in hand to empower students to discover their strengths, develop strong character, leadership, and relentlessly pursue excellence. Give your child's full potential a chance. Visit prodigy.edu.gh or call 025-609-7974 to begin your Prodigy's journey. Prodigy International Academy. Persevere, excel, inspire.
Driver, can I send Momo to your personal number?
Oh, sister, Debut, just scan my GHQR code or send to my merchant ID.
Oh, okay.
Nice one. Customer. Thank you for the 5 stars too.
Of course. You've given me good service and an even simpler way to pay. I like your movement, Pan.
Online drivers and Pragia drivers. Every fare you collect with Momo moves you up the leaderboard and closer to amazing prizes. Register at any MTN office with your registered business certificate and sign up to become a Momo merchant driver today. Ride all the way with Momo. Terms and conditions apply.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM, broadcasting from Accra and being relayed on a number of affiliate stations, including Pupeli 92.7 FM in Wa, Nobia 98.1 FM in Nalirigu, Jimbali 107.3 FM in Jimbali, Quality 88.7 FM in Garu, Bolga 102.7 in Bolga Tanga, Radio Gaki 88.3 in Saboba, Freedom 88.1 FM in Sogakopa, Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohwe, Adwinpa 99.9 FM in Nkawie, Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani, Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrady, and Adwinpa 100.7 in Takwa. We are on YouTube and on Facebook and interactive. Join us with your messages 0539 986 996. Let's go to the Citi Newsroom now and look at what other stories we have on the dashboard. Fafa Melody Portifes in studio with news summaries. Fafa.
While in more news, the Interior Minister Muntaka Mohamed Mubarak has called on the Ghana Police Service to intensify efforts to clamp down on vigilantism and the growing practice of individuals and groups forming self-defense forces. He says the trend poses a serious threat to national peace and security. The minister made the call at the opening of a regional commanders conference at the police headquarters in Accra.
We observe with concern a new trend of chiefs, political parties, individuals, and some organizations building forces for self-protection. The Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019, Act 999, is clear on this matter. These are illegal and should not be tolerated. There should be no forces for protection of any person or group except those authorized by the state. I therefore charge you and your commanders to nip this in the bud and bring perpetrators to book.
Well, the Interior Minister has also directed an immediate halt to the sharing and display on social media of video recordings involving police recruits from various training schools. He says such videos could compromise the integrity and security of the training process.
I'm equally concerned about the growing practice of officers and trainers in our training schools allowing videos and other content of recruits undergoing training to be recorded and shared on social media. This practice must stop. I therefore direct all service commanders to ensure that appropriate controls are put in place to prevent the unauthorized recording, publication, and circulation of images or videos of recruits in training.
That was the Interior Minister, Muntaka Mohamed Mubarak. Now, moving away from that, victims of the Akosombo Dam spillage have welcomed government's plans to begin paying compensation by the end of 2026. The Volta Regional Minister, James Kunu, said President Mahama has directed the Finance Minister to release funds to facilitate the payment. Speaking to City News, a victim and the Assembly member for the Mepe electoral area, Amos Ahosu Bolo, said victims are still struggling to recover from the losses they suffered.
It is a welcome news because since 2023 that this happens, we were still in the expectation that we will be compensated because out of no fault of ours, this happens. People are still languishing in the camp. If you go in and see them under the tents, all this while, you feel compassion for them. And then me being the assembly member of the area, initially I have to go in and stay in Bato. Had it not been out of compassion that somebody gave him his own beer and I'm living in America here. So we are expecting that since all the necessary data have been corrected, we are expecting that it should take effect because it's long overdue. And if you look at some old ladies and old men that has been affected in this, some people are living in outside the country, their homes, and so now the pronouncement has come. My fervent wishes is it shouldn't just be a waste, but just it should take effect so that we have it and then go back to our various homes here.
The Assembly member for the Mepe electoral area, Amos Ahosu Bolo. Now, the Minister for Roads and Highways, Governs Kwame Agbuja, says 2 quantity surveyors will soon be reported to the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Yoko, over alleged attempts to extract additional funds from the state. He disclosed this during an inspection of asphalt works on the access road linking Feyase to the Sewa Regional Hospital in the Ashanti region. He said such practices, coupled with delays in compensating property owners affected by road project, have contributed to delays in completing several projects.
How come when they finish their evaluation, somebody comes and tell the project affected people, I can get you 4 times that amount of money? How are you going to arrive at that? And the simple reason is that the percentage of money that goes to those people depends on how much they promise the people they can get it. So the higher they jack up the price, the money, the more money they get. We are looking at the possibility of reporting 2 of those people to Iyoko for investigation. So if you are part of those people who, anytime we do valuation, you tell people, don't accept it, we'll get you 4 times, and then you delay the project, very soon, Iyoko will be at your door to actually justify why you think you can get that project affected person 4 times the amount when your colleague surveyor also decided that an amount was of money was enough.
You are the Minister for Roads and Highways, Governs Kwame Agbuja. Now, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited has begun a disinfection and disinfestation exercise in markets and sanitary facilities across the Greater Accra region. The exercise aims to control mosquitoes, flies, and other disease-causing organisms, particularly in areas affected by the recent flood. Zoom Lion's regional manager, Nik Amarteifio, says the exercise forms part of the company's corporate social responsibility and is being fully funded by the company.
Exercise that Zoom Lion is taking it upon itself. That's the chief executive of Zoom Lion, then the executive chairman, as well as the MD, mentioned or in a way have it at the mind that we need to give back to the society as a social, our corporate social responsibility to help our citizenry, especially the MMDAs in Greater Accra and the whole country as a whole. So Greater Accra has 29 MMDAs, of which we are taking it upon ourselves to disinfect every place to help contain the microorganism that in a way ran through as a result of the flood. And here that we are also trying to make sure that we curtail the flies, the mosquitoes, and all those in this place. And this area, for instance.
That was the Greater Accra Regional Manager of Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, Nik Amarteifio. Now, in the Eastern region, the exercise has commenced across all 33 municipal and district assemblies. Zoom Lion Eastern Regional Manager Cynthia Badaglo has urged stakeholders to cooperate with the company and observe all safety precautions during the exercise.
We are having is a nationwide disinfection and fumigation exercise, which was launched to be taking place nationwide in all 16 regions, including the Eastern region. And this program has come as a result of the flood which hit our country some few months ago. And so following up on this flood, we have seen that the environment has been contaminated. And so this exercise is a corporate social responsibility from Zoom Lion to Mother Ghana and Eastern region where we are now. We are spraying, we are disinfecting and fumigating public places and all the affected places by the flood. And that is what we are doing today.
Cynthia Badaglo is Zoom Lion Eastern Regional Manager.
This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's talk about a very disturbing story that we brought to you yesterday. A story from the Bolgatanga Girls High School, where we are told that two men on security duties, or two security men in the school, sexually assaulted a 14-year-old girl who had autism. And we heard from the Deputy Minister for Education, but we have a coalition in the education sector and also girl-child development, which is asking for more. One such organization is the ACT Foundation. The executive director is Dr. Angela Dramina Abuaji. She's joined us on the line. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much.
How did you feel when you heard the news that is emerging from Bogis?
Well, it's disturbing, but not surprising. Disturbing because, again, you think that things are getting better in terms of policies, laws, practices, implementation. But then you come back to the realization that a lot of things have not changed despite the plethora of laws, policies, SOPs that are around in our country. So disturbing, but not surprising.
What do you think immediately was wrong with the situation and how the school authorities could have dealt or prevented this from happening?
So there are two parts to your question. One, what was wrong? The fact that this could happen in a school at all is what is wrong. Okay, a school becomes in loco parentis when children are brought into its through its gates, into its compound. So you are standing legally in the place of parents, and parents have obligations to make sure they protect their wards, their children from violence, endangerment, from exploitation, from abuse, and from a plethora of things. These things are spelled out in the law. So you'd expect that our schools and institutions become safe spaces because they create the atmosphere for safety. And that's why it's important, for example, that non-teaching staff and teaching staff are all educated, sensitized, and trained, particularly in issues like this. It's a very, very important part of what we must do as institutions. So the fact that it could be breached by adults, okay, who should know better, is wrong up in this show. And then also the response, okay, the response is really jarring. It's jarring because you would expect that school authorities, if what we have read so far is what we should go by, would know to find a way to protect the victim when that happened. You don't victim blame, write a letter to suggest that she conducted something, she did a misconduct, a sexual misconduct, and then come back to say it was because of stigmatization and all of that. It was very, very victim blaming. It shows that there's still a lack of, understanding about how these kinds of impacts, these kinds of abuses impact people, especially young people. And the sad thing too is that this one is a special needs child, a differently able child. So already there's some form of double, triple jeopardy in the system because they already face some kind of stigma, and they are more easily exploited because of the way other people view them. So the response was just wrong. Unless there's something more that we haven't heard, the response was just wrong.
Is it fair to say that this could be happening in other schools? And that is the only one that has come to light?
Oh, absolutely. This is not the first report. There have been several reports of sexual harassment in schools. I remember just a few years ago, one broke, in some school in the middle part of Ghana. I don't want to mention, schools and names and so on. And we didn't even get the angst we are getting now when that broke. As usual, people would say, oh, the victim, the children now are bad and so on. Of course, it wasn't bad when they were growing up. But it makes no difference because adults are supposed to know better. And that's why we give policy reasons for making laws on statutory rape. Defilement is statutory rape. Why? Because an adult who defiles or sexually abuses a child should know that no matter what they do to try to attract them, they are not supposed to put themselves in that kind of a compromising situation. Okay, so it's rife. When I was young, there were children as school children. We used to hear rumors, and later we found they were not rumors because some of our friends would say, actually, the head teachers and so on and so forth would. And I'm not saying all head teachers are bad or all teachers are not at all. Many of them are very respectable and do the right thing. But then that a lot of these teachers and head teachers were taking advantage of the girls, particularly when they see them developing at the puberty stage and they are developing their breasts and hips and all of those things. They single them out. They send them into their offices, and then subsequently sexually abuse them. It's been around for a very long time. And even though now it comes out now and then, Ghana is still a very victim-blaming society. We saw some of it not too long ago, where a teacher is molesting a girl or having some kind of relationship with a girl, and people saying, it appears that the girl is enjoying it and so on. The relationship they have should never give anybody the right to have that kind of word in their mouth. Whether she's enjoying it or not is not the matter. Sex and sexual touching and so on is pleasurable. The matter is whether there are power dynamics in that situation, and that should not make people do what they do.
Moving forward, the ministry is investigating. What would be your advice? What recommendations would you want contained in whatever policy decision will be taken in relating to this?
First of all, I think it's very important for the Ministry of Education and its agencies, the GES, the Girls Unit, and so on. And yes, it does affect some boys too, okay, and so on, to coordinate with the Ministry of Gender, okay, because there's also an aspect of it that has to do with gender-based violence and protection of persons with disability. So there needs to be some coordination in that to look across schools. Just start with maybe the secondary schools, because we have issues in the primary schools as well, even in the kindergarten. Okay, but to look across schools and see what kind of safeguarding institutional policies are in place, and whether the people who are operating the system are trained. Do they understand what they need to put in place, and whether the students and the pupils also understand that there's a difference between this kind of sending and that kind of sending. There's a difference between that kind of calling and that kind of calling. There's a difference between that kind of touching and that kind of touching. These are basic things that we should teach children, we should teach our young people, and not just say they are bad. Okay, of course, children will be bad. I mean, we grow up like that. But there's a certain responsibility on institutions to make sure that even if you are bad, it cannot be used as an excuse for your exploitation. Okay, because you are a ward, you are being guarded by somebody who is standing in the place of a parent with legal responsibilities. So there should be coordination, and there should be some kind of monitoring over the schools, and to make sure that GES implements its. They already have this in their codes of conduct and so many safeguarding SOPs across many schools. But what is happening? What are they doing with it? That has always been our bane in this country. Okay, so that from now we know that one, the policies are in place. Two, everybody has been trained. The children and the students know what to do, and there are places that they can report. There are safe systems that they can report through. Okay, in case anything happens to them. There are safe systems, and then beyond those systems are the investigative things that need to happen to establish whether something happened or didn't happen, and the criminal system that may have to be kicked in place if people are found culpable and they need to be taken to court and so on and so forth. So it's a systems thing, and if you don't do it intentionally and deliberately, we will do it like as for Ghana, everything come. That's the way we will approach it.
Thank you so much for speaking to us, Doc.
You're very welcome.
Now, Dr. Angela Dwamna Abuaje, she is Executive Director of the ARC Foundation. Let's remain with this story. Raphael Gapson is General Secretary of the National Council of Parent-Teacher Association. Mr. Gapson, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
I'm grateful to speaking to you, Umar Sanda, and good evening, Ghana.
Good evening to you. As PTAs, hearing about this news, how the school handled it, and now the position of the GES, what do you think?
Well, as parents, we are speaking tonight with a heavy heart and with one voice that the sexual abuse of a 14-year-old student with autism at Bogatanga Girls Senior High School is an attack on every child in Ghana. It is also an indictment of how we are failing our most vulnerable groups in society, especially children. As a National Council, we commend the swift response of the Ministry of Education, the Ghana Education Service, and then the police administration, especially the Regional Police Commander and his team, for making sure that at least as we speak, the judiciary has remanded the people. But commendation is not closure. We demand accountability from individuals and reforms from the system. Why are we asking for that? No child, and especially a child with special needs, can ever be blamed for abuse by an adult. The shame is on the perpetrators and not the victim. And you know, Umar, that as our elders say, if a person who is supposed to carry you on his back is the one who pushes you down, where then will the child run to? Our students or our children or our walls are taken to these schools and handed over to school administrators who have a duty of care in what in law we call vicarious liability to protect these children. And only for us to hear that this incident that happened, it has already been covered up. It's just God by destiny that something unraveled it, and we are hearing that it happened over a month ago, and even the victim was being punished in addition to that pain that he or she has gone through. Indeed, if gold should rust, then what should iron do? These are our concerns. So we are saying that schools must be places of safety. And this whole policy about inclusive education, we are seeing that it is on paper. It is not in practice. Ghana has an inclusive education policy, but in most schools, it exists only in name. We do not have trained staff, proper safeguarding protocols, or support systems for students with special education needs. This girl was failed twice. First of all, by the policy that was not implemented, and secondly, by the adults in that school. Who are those adults we are talking about? The headmistress of the school and the management have failed in their duty of care to protect that child. And from all indications, I'm even picking signals that the board was not even aware, the PTA were not aware about the decision that was taken against the child. And who took that child to who, when they were hearing the child's case, which parent was standing by the child? A child of 14 years old. On what basis can you justify that you are demonizing her and you are giving her punishment? You wanted to go home and all those kind of things. Our major concern is that leadership failure and security of vetting. We are shocked to the marrow to hear that somebody of age of 72 years was rather a security staff of that school. Hey, Umaru, I will say.
Does it mean that the age of retirement doesn't apply to security?
Umaru, that is the biggest question we are asking ourselves. Hey, security, 72 years, one of the suspects, employed as a school security. Schools are not retirement homes. Security roles requires vigilance, strength, and sound judgment. At that age, what can he do? What can he do? And when these things happen, we are not seeing that it clearly shows that there is something wrong with the system. We believe that there's a lot of things that have not gone well, and we are asking that protection of the child is the first duty of the school's leadership. That duty was not met, and we are saying that they should take decisive action on the school management. They should not only, excuse my language, say that they have interdicted the security person 172, 130. No. The school administration, the headmistress, has questions to answer, and he must be made to equally freeze the full course of the law. We are also demanding administrative justice, decisive GES action on school management. They should interdict and investigate the school headmistress and the management of a team of bogies for negligence and poor handling of the case. Sanctions must follow if found culpable. And we also urge that they should dismiss the interdicted staff under the GES Code of Conduct and debar them from public service. And 3, a nationwide audit of all school security personnel, age, their background, and fitness. We should move to young, vetted, trained personnel who have integrity to handle these matters. And 4, the inclusive education audit. GES must conduct a nationwide audit on inclusive education implementation. Every school must report on training staff, safeguarding plans for students with disabilities, and reporting channels. Mandatory child protection and safeguarding and training for all school staff, students with specific and compulsory models for students with special education needs. These are the things we are asking for in terms of what administrative justice. And then criminal justice, we are saying that diligent prosecution by the state to make sure that those who are found culpable are charged. The charges must reflect Section 101 of Act 29 on defilement and the Children's Act 560 and the Article 28 of our Constitution. And the last one, we are saying that our position is clear. No plea bargains, no delays. Justice must be seen to be done. Umar, this is our position on the matter.
So you want the bucks to stop with the school administration. You don't want to extend it to the district and regional offices of the Ghana Education.
We are saying that it should start from there. When she got her powers to do that, she will report. If it was the district director who advised her, she will report. If it was the regional director. That is how you go into systems. That's how you go into systems, because her position is totally at variance with what the Director General has also said and the Minister of Education has said. So on whose authority did she take that decision?
Is it a possibility that they would have had their own disciplinary hearing? Because I see that the letter announcing the removal from the boarding house says that it is copied to the disciplinary committee. Could it be that the disciplinary committee may have taken an action and that would absolve the headmistress of any blame?
And I'm saying that we have to investigate that matter. Those actions are not disciplinary issues. A child with autism cannot go through disciplinary procedures like that. She's a child with a special need. We should know that. Inclusive education policy doesn't allow these things to happen. Why should we allow it to fester? Is it on paper or it's on the ground?
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll wait to see what happens next. But thank you so much for speaking to us.
I'm grateful for speaking to you.
But I think before, in fact, as national PTA, would you be able to find a way of having this issue raised in all secondary schools, all the PTAs raising it, so that perhaps if there's any possibility of these things going on in any of those schools, it could be handled and nipped in the bud?
So Rome was not built in a day. It takes time to do these things. But as we are doing the advocacy, I think everybody's hearing. Umar, we are also a parent. We are all in the PTA front. Am I right? So we need a collective approach to handle these matters. But we are showing the clear roadmap, and we are indicating that we will definitely make sure that we take decisive. On Tuesday, God's willing, to Wednesday, we'll be having a national engagement as PTA national officers across the country in Accra. And these things are part of decisions that we've seen with other related issues on discipline and other matters in the school space that probably at the end of the day we might come out with further and better discussions on these matters. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. Dr. Raphael Gapson is General Secretary of the National Council of Parent-Teacher Associations. This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM, broadcasting from our studios in Accra and around the globe on citynewsroom.com. Let's talk about road infrastructure now, shall we? The government is doing something called the Big Push. The Minister for the sector has been busy doing a tour of the nation on road infrastructure. We've dedicated a reporter to follow the team. So Christopher Kevin Asima, a reporter with Citi FM, is the man embedded with the minister's team, and he's joining us on the line, having been in the studio 2 days ago to tell us about the Greater Accra region tour. Chris, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Sanda.
Which region did the minister go to today, and what did you observe?
Well, today we've been in the Ashanti region, Sanda, and the tour began yesterday when we were in the Bono region as part of the nationwide inspection tour. And just to take you back to the Bono region, yesterday's inspection, the minister visited the Ntotroso community where there seemed to be an abandoned bridge, but the abandoned bridge has been taken up by government and they are working on it. We were assured by the minister that the bridge will certainly be open to residents by the end of the year, possibly in the month of September. And the Ntotroso bridge is one of 50 bridges that have been abandoned over the years, and the minister said these bridges across the country are very important, especially creating access to communities, and also for the fact that some road projects have to use this particular bridge to complete their project. So we did that, and then later we visited other parts of the Bono region where the minister also visited work done by Kofi Job, that is a 17-kilometer Siane Outer Ring Road, and then also the project being constructed by Josco Company Limited, that is the so-called Sampa Road, which is also under construction. Then we wrapped up the tour in Siane Township. But today, early morning, we left the Bono region, drove straight to Accra, and the first point of call in the Ashanti region was to go and look at ongoing works on the road linking the Siwa Hospital. We all know that the hospital is known for the fact that it has not been open for use. But then the minister is also working on access roads leading to this particular hospital, which also is under construction by Kofi Job. So we inspected ongoing works that is being done ahead of the opening of the Siwa Hospital, which is speeding up. But the minister had concerns there because joining the team was the Ashanti Regional Minister, and there seemed to be some concerns about some sections of road projects that have had people interfere with government's work. And the minister was specifically talking about people. This has to do with people who are affected through their properties or structures that are on the ways that they have to demolish to develop the road. And the minister said that there seems to be a trend where some quantity surveyors in the country who go to renegotiate with these people after government engineers have come to assess the work and then agreed on compensation amounts. And the ministry is working on processing to pay these people. They seem to have some lawyers and some surveyors come to convince them in a way that maybe the amount government is offering is less and their properties are valued more than that. And therefore, seeing that the whole process and it has delayed many road projects across the country. The minister says that this was uncalled for because these surveyors, he doesn't know whether they are even quantity surveyors, but the fact that they are portraying themselves as such, he said that it was wrong and they had to go through the right channel, that is, deal with government surveyors to do the right thing. And he said he was going to even report 2 of such people to Yoko for Yoko to investigate to understand how come government certified surveyors will be able to survey a project and come up with an amount, but then some private surveyors go to tell these affected persons that you could get 3 times or 4 times the amount government is offering. How was that possible? The minister said this has been going on across the country, and in so many places, affected persons come back to government, renegotiating and preventing the road project. Also, that wasn't the only thing. He moved on from there and visited the Senior Swami Interchange project. The Swami Interchange project is over 80% complete now, and we hope that they will soon open it for people to have access to that road. But the minister assured us that from the interaction with the contractor, the 3 overpass that has been put together by government to make the road notable or easy access to the road right now will be opened by the end of the year. That is part of the phase 2 project. That is the 3 overpass that was being put on will be opened by the end of the year, whilst we hope for the remaining 20% of the entire stretch of the Swami interchange to be completed. Then the minister concluded his tour by also inspecting some road projects, that is the Konongo bypass. And then he said that with the Konongo bypass project, he also picked up intel that the same situation with people convincing others not to give up their properties based on the quantity surveillance by government. In other situations, armed men even approach government contractors who are working on road projects, preventing them from working because they feel like they haven't agreed with government on the right compensation amount. So the minister said very soon he will be working with the security agency to either provide security for contractors who are working or to make sure that these people who are going around creating these problems are dealt with. The minister also gave a warning, Sanda, to all contractors working on the Kumasi bypass projects. We know that there are about 4 contractors on this stretch that are supposed to be working on the bypass. Government is working on the Kumasi Expressway, but the minister says that it is not an alternative to the bypass. It is supposed to work together. So those contractors who government had come to inherit their contracts and had reviewed their projects and asked them to go back, to give them till the end of the year to get back to site to continue the work on the existing Kumasi Accra bypass while the expressway is being constructed. The expressway, we are told, the next 20 kilometers left is to hit Kumasi. So in some key, maybe months or so, we are expecting that the work done by the Ghanaian forces will reach Kumasi to keep the whole place and have the construction of the asphaltic work begin.
Thank you so much, Chris Kelvin Sima of the Citi Newsroom, who is following the Minister for Roads and Highways on a tour to the Ashanti region. Fafa Melody Kwatufa is back in studio with more from the newsroom.
Well, let's bring you some unfortunate news because the Executive Secretary of the Civil and Local Government Staff Association of Ghana, CLOGSAG, Dr. Isaac Bampoado, has died. City News sources confirm that Dr. Bampoado died today after a brief illness. As Executive Secretary, he played a key role in the association's national negotiations, industrial actions, and engagement with government and other stakeholders on matters affecting public sector workers. Dr. Bampoado was also actively involved in shaping CLOGSAG's institutional policies and representing the interest of its members on labor and public sector issues. Further details regarding his death and funeral arrangements are expected to be communicated in due course. Away from that, the Ghana National Ambulance Service has welcomed government's commitment to procuring new ambulances for the service in 2027. The Public Relations Officer for the service, Simmons Yusuf Kiwura, tells Citi News that the service currently relies on a limited number of operational vehicles amid a growing volume of emergency cases nationwide. Mr. Kariwa also called for sustained financial support and the timely release of funds to ensure efficient operations.
It's a very refreshing news. We at the service, we are so happy because we need these ambulances to adapt to the existing ambulances that we have. So it is something we welcome the news and we pray it will come to fruition. So it is a very laudable project that the government or the Minister of Health is embarking, because we say we provide an emergency health services. We need a lot. Apart from the ambulances, we also need resources such as financial resources. So praying that our funds should be released timely so that we'll be able to curb the growing number of emergency cases that are occurring in this country.
You are the Public Relations Officer for the Ghana National Ambulance Service, Simmons Yusuf Kiwura. Now, former Works and Housing Minister Kojo Nkrumah says President Mahama's optimism about completing the Saglemi project demonstrates the importance of private sector participation in government projects. President Mahama, during a tour of the project site, said the first 700 housing units are expected to be ready for use by March next year. Reacting to the development, Mr. Attah-Mensah said events surrounding the Saglemi project show that the NTC's earlier opposition to private sector involvement in government projects was largely driven by partisan considerations.
Well, I, as Minister for the time, explained clearly that there was nothing untoward with using a private sector approach to complete Saglemi. It was only partisan politics that our colleagues on the NDC side at the time, when they were looking for power, were playing just by, trying to heighten some allegations as though there was something untoward going on. It was a very well-structured transaction with one of the top 4 accounting firms as our transaction advisors. And we went through a process that ensured that we will not put further state money into it, but private money will be brought in, but state interest and state equity will be protected in it. Today, as we have gone full circle and you have seen the new administration upholding it, and now even taking credit that the first 700 and the next 1,000, I can only say thank God that the work that under President Akufo-Addo he permitted me to do is bearing fruit. And I look forward to all of us being there eventually when they open up Saglemi. But this is testament that private sector participation in delivering public goods and services is an idea or is an approach that works.
That was the former Works and Housing Minister Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah. Now, the Africa Sustainable Energy Centre, ESEC, is calling on the Ghana Grid Company Limited, GridCo, to publish a detailed report on the recent power outages across parts of Ghana. GridCo says the latest outage was caused by a fault on the Akosombo Volta transmission line, which triggered protection systems and affected power supply. ESEC says GridCo must explain what caused the fault, how the protection systems responded, and what is being done to prevent similar incidents. The centre is also calling for a clear plan to quickly restore power if another major disturbance occurs.
This Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Accra. We are live around Ghana on a number of affiliate stations. You've just heard the Fafa Melody Portoffe bringing us the latest in the world of news from the Citi Newsroom. We'll go to the business desk now, and Daniel Odro-Mensah is seated before me in his beautiful African print. The Friday night is looking good.
Really good, Mr.
Are you going to chill tonight somewhere, or you just go home?
Maybe tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. Please, when you find a location, let me know, yeah?
Right.
Okay, please give us the news.
Right, thank you so much, Mr. Amadou. Welcome to Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Daniel Odro-Mensah. Now, Ghana has reduced the share of its total revenue used to service debt from about 55% to below 20%. The reduction had created significant fiscal space for government to channel more resources into public services and infrastructure. This comes after Ghana and Belgium signed an agreement to restructure 163 million euros owed to Belgium's Export Credit Agency. Finance Minister Dr. Casiel Attah-Mensah says the reduction in debt service costs represents a significant improvement from the fiscal pressures Ghana faced in the past.
About 55% of our national debt, national revenue, just to service debt. That was the level we got to. And when you are confronted with a situation like that, then it means that clearly you won't have opportunity to take care of public good. Public services will be the one that will suffer. Less schools, less hospitals, and less social care. And so today I'm proud to say that we have made some considerable progress. Today we are spending less than 20% of our total revenue to service our debt. And that obviously means that, unlike the past, we can spend more and to take care of public infrastructure and social care.
Dr. Casiel Attah-Mensah is Finance Minister. Despite global geopolitical uncertainties, investor confidence in Ghana is showing signs of resilience, with the country recording more than $2.6 billion in investment inflows for the year ending 2025. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, says the development reflects renewed investor interest and signals growing confidence in the economy. Speaking at the launch of the 2025 Annual Investment Report at the Bank Square, Dr. Esiama assured that the bank is working to address key gaps, particularly in strengthening diaspora inflows.
This is a strong indicator. This is a strong indication that investors continue to see the opportunities that exist within our economy. Equally important is the quality and nature of these investments. Existing investors, they are not only maintaining their presence in Ghana, but they are also expanding their operations and reinvesting in the economy. We are also witnessing increasing interest in sectors such as manufacturing, agribusiness, logistics, and technology-enabled services. This trend aligns with our broader economic ambition, i.e., to transition from an economy that primarily exports raw materials to one that creates greater value through industrialization, innovation.
Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Johnson Esiama, for his part, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority, Simon Magye, says the authority will deepen collaboration with the Ghana Revenue Authority to improve investment data collection. He believes the $2.6 billion recorded in 2025 could have been significantly higher if all investment activity had been fully captured.
We'll be working with all agencies because I said that, look, foreign direct investment comes in several forms. It comes in convertible currency, it comes in plant, equipment, machinery, spare parts, raw materials, that the source of the money generating that did not come from Ghana. And so going forward, we'll be working with the GRA to look at the plant, equipment, machinery that's coming in, of which foreign capital is used to purchase into our economy. And that will give us a bigger picture of the FDI that comes into Ghana beyond the 2.6 billion. And also keep in mind that the BOG's economic data indicates that the cash component that came into Ghana is $1.9 billion in 2025. So, and that's even separate from all these registered projects. So that gives us an idea that there's a lot happening within the Ghanaian economy.
Simon Magye is the CEO of the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority. The cocoa marketing company CMC has introduced a 24-hour operational model aimed at improving efficiency, reducing congestion, and accelerating cocoa exports from Ghana. The initiative, introduced at a cocoa board warehouse in Tema, will see the CMC operate around the clock under the tagline Load 24, Offload 24, and Export 24. Speaking at the event, Managing Director of the cocoa marketing company, Wisdom Dogbe, said the move to 24-hour operations is necessary to address bottlenecks in the cocoa supply chain and speed up the movement of cocoa for export.
If our warehouses and terminals close, whilst the supply chain remains active, CMC becomes the bottleneck. From this season, we intend to remove that constraint. By operating around the clock, we can reduce congestion, improve turnaround times, make better use of our infrastructure, and accelerate export through multiple shifts. Ultimately, this is about making Ghana more competitive so that our people, our infrastructure and assets can create economic value beyond traditional working day. For CMC, that means stronger integration beyond the buying point to the warehouse, to the factory, to the port, and ultimately to the international market.
Managing Director of the cocoa marketing company, Wisdom Dogbe. The Ghana Chamber of Mines wants government to safeguard jobs and investment in the mining sector as engagement continue with Adamu's resources over the revocation of the company's mining leases. Speaking at the 7th Biennial HR Conference in Accra, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Kenneth Ashigbe, stressed the need to protect workers and their livelihoods as well as contractors, host communities, and legitimate investments.
We're engaging Adamos, we're engaging government to be able to understand how this is going, and then that would inform what next steps we're going to take. Well, and so again, our appeal to both sides is that they need to ensure that they safeguard jobs, they need to ensure that they safeguard investments, they need to ensure also that we work to ensure that the laws of this country are obeyed. And so we will work together with both the government and Adamos side to make sure that we can get together, we can reach some meaningful conclusion.
Kenneth Ashigbe is the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines.
Daniel, indeed, on that particular story, so this Kenneth Ashigbe speaking where? Where was he speaking at?
So he was speaking at the 7th Biennial HR Conference in Accra.
And he's speaking about Adamos.
Sure.
Now, we have some development on this particular Adamos mining company issue. There's information coming from the Jubilee House, the presidency communication signed by Phyllis Kwachofosu, who speaks for the president and also the government. I just want to read that before you continue with the other stories in the world of business. And it says, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Minerals Commission, and Adamos Resources Limited have been asked by government to present a 12-month roadmap for turning the mine around. The roadmap will include a 6-member management team formed between Adamos and government to supervise the turnaround of the mine. The membership of the committee will include 3 members from the Adamos side and 3 members from the government side. The agreement followed a meeting at the presidency aimed at resolving the dispute between the two parties to salvage what is one of a few operating indigenous large-scale mines. The roadmap will include a plan for settling liabilities by Adamos to Ghana Revenue Authority, Minerals Income Investment Fund, financial institution, and suppliers. The roadmap will also include exploring means to inject fresh capital by inviting additional partners to take up equity in the mining operation. The two sides are expected to present the roadmap to the presidency in 2 weeks. So that's a fresh development we have just received on Adamos mining and the intervention by government. So I recall that there was a revocation of the license by the Minerals Commission. Then the Lands Commission confirmed that revocation. Is that not what happened?
That's it.
So as of today, the Adamos Mine Company had its license revoked by the Minerals Commission, which was affirmed by the Lands Ministry. Now, the company has been fighting this and planning to go to court as well. And now there's a presidential intervention which says a 12-month window has been given for a way to deal with this particular matter. So we have this story developing, and we have it on our website, citinewsroom.com, indeed, and we'll be talking more about this in subsequent programs. But please continue with the business news.
Right, so still at the same event, that's the 7th Biennial HR Conference in Accra, the Chief Executive Officer of Telecel Ghana, Patricia Obonai, underscored the critical role of human resource professionals in identifying and developing the skills organizations will need in the future.
The HR must be able to understand where it's going. So they must read wider, they must acquire more knowledge and understand the capabilities that are needed, and then help shape the requirements going forward in terms of recruitment, etc. If you come into our business, for example, in Telecel, we have decided to train our employees with around 14 digital skills. This is a program we are running through HR and making sure that each employee has a digital skill. If HR is not versed in such a thing, how would they guide the people to be able to do it? So it's very, very important that HR moves into a very strategic positioning to help discuss and design the capabilities required for the future.
Chief Executive Officer of Telecel Ghana, Engineer Patricia Obonai. The Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana is insisting that businesses seeking to export products should not spend more than 1 month completing registration and certification processes with government agencies. Executive Secretary of the association, Samson Asaki Awingobet, said the current system, which requires exporters to move between multiple institutions, could undermine Ghanaian businesses' ability to take advantage of China's decision to grant Ghana 100% market access. He was speaking to the media on the sidelines of a high-level Ghana-China zero tariff policy roundtable.
Apart from gold, we need to do more of the traditional export. So one, going to government agencies to do registration of a product should not take you more than 1 month. No, and we should not be moving from another office to another office. For instance, if you young person want to embark on export, you will go to GEPA. GEPA will say, we want to give you a training. That's fine. They want to give you training so that you understand the specifications, the standard, and the packaging, so that when you take the product out there, they don't reject it. I understand. You have to go to FDA. If it happens to be food, you have to go to Standards Authority. You have to go to Plant Quarantine Division. You have to go to You have to go to you have to go to Chamber of Commerce. All these institutions that one will have to go through to do registration. Do we need to have that on one single platform? Yes. If you go to Nigeria, that's what they've done. One single platform, you put application in. Once you put in one single document, the rest of the institutions that have an interest to issue certificate or permits or whatever, or approve for you, they will see it there and they will quickly all work it.
Executive Secretary of the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, Samson Asaki Awingobit. And that's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Daniel Odro-Mensah.
Thank you so much, Daniel Odro-Mensah from the City Business Desk. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. It's now time to bring you Talk Back, where we put a microphone in your hands.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. Introducing Ghana's leading pay-as-you-copy photocopier leasing company. Lease an A4, A3, heavy-duty or production machine and pay for only the copies made, or design your own payment plan. Simple and tietia. That's not all. Incredibly, toners, repairs, maintenance, follow-me printing, centralized tracking all come free of charge. Remember, financial prudence is the name of the game. Folks, forget about the expensive gimmicks and be smart. Join the hundreds of satisfied clients across all the 16 regions and every sector of the economy and save over 60% of your printing costs. Visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244-644048. Be prudent and lease a copier. Terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease is a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Hello, good afternoon. I am calling from your bank. We are currently experiencing a system downtime, so we need to secure your account. Please, can you confirm your account number and your login details so we can restore access immediately? Yes, your username and password, just to verify.
Beware of fraudsters. Your bank will never ask for your login details, PIN or password over the phone. Shine your eye. Spot the fraud. Stop the fraud. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Association of Banks.
If you spot the fraud, you go fit to stop the fraud. Make you know they lose God.
Live your dream now at Eden Heights. Move into our beautifully finished and ready to move in 3 and 4 bedroom apartment or penthouses thoughtfully designed for modern living today. Enjoy the serenity of a secure gated community with a fully equipped sports complex, landscape surroundings, ample parking, 24-hour security, reliable backup utilities, and convenient access to shopping, entertainment, and everyday essentials. With up to 3 years interest-free payment plans and mortgage financing options available, owning your dream home has never been easier. And here's the good news: pay 50% or more and move in today. Book a viewing now on 0501-531-444 or 445 and on our website at www.edenheights.com.gh. Eden Heights, the heights of modern living.
Business owners, entrepreneurs, and investors, your next big business opportunity could be waiting for you at the Canton Fair 2026 in China, and Lutina Travel and Tours is taking you there. From October 23rd to November 5th, join the Lutina China and Dubai Business and Leisure Delegation. Meet manufacturers face-to-face and source quality products. Whether you're into electronics, furniture, construction materials, vehicles and spare parts, or more, this trip is for you. And after business, Dubai awaits with 2 days of premium leisure, exciting tours, and a relaxing spa treatment to recharge. Your visas, flights, hotel accommodation, B2B meetings, guided tours, travel insurance, and ground transportation all arranged for you from just $3,799 US. Don't miss this opportunity. Call Tina on 0244-260-789 or visit Litina Travel and Tours at Alisa Hotel, Northridge, Accra. Litina Travel and Tours, your business, your growth, your journey.
Enterprise Blue FM.
Enterprise Blue FM, the bus.
You're tuned into Enterprise Blue FM. DJ E on the traffic jams. Who's the chillest man you know? Phones are open. Let's go.
DJ E, the chillest man is my neighbor. Mr. Osei, a truck bumped into his new bumper. He didn't blink, just took the picture, uploaded on Enterprise Insurance Claim Express, smiled, and drove off.
Boss move. Hello, caller.
Hello, DJ E. I know that same Mr. Osei. Like he be me, the way the truck driver go make shit, you know what be crazy? Next day, no, Mr. Osei fix the Benz.
That's right. Mr. Osei, you really are that guy.
They say Entoa, but at Enterprise Insurance, with over 100 years of experience, we say whether it's motor, home, travel, or insurance for your business, Entoa, when it happens, smile.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
It's 7:15 p.m. This is 97.3 Citi FM. Eyewitness News is a program. Umaru Sandamadu is the name. It's now time to bring you Talk Back, where we put the microphone in your hands. Talk Back on Eyewitness News is brought to you by Vales Lease Equip Limited, the company that gives you affordable document management solutions. And Fred Tetejabano, my brother, has joined me in studio to help us with your messages. Fred, you're welcome.
Thank you, Umaru.
The issue, before we do the messages in Talk Back, the Adamos mine issue is something we have been following keenly here.
Yes.
Because our interest is the mine is owned by a Ghanaian, and we do not want an interference with those issues, because since we've been talking about local content, right?
Yeah.
And so
to protect indigenous companies, especially within the mining sector, Adamos is one of the few large indigenous mining companies we have in the country.
Yeah.
So the call by so many people was to protect that indigenous company and ensure that we still have the people kept, the workers kept in, and find a way of resolving that impasse between the state and this company. It looks like after a long back and forth on this issue, their license was revoked based on some regulatory infractions, according to the ministry. The presidency held a meeting with all parties within this particular issue, or who have been involved in this particular issue. And the result of that meeting is what you heard, that there is going to be a 6-member committee, which is going to make up, or is going to be formed, made up of Adamus, 3 people from Adamus and 3 people from government, to see how the mine can be revived, can be brought back working, and some of these financial obligations which we are told by the state or the government that Adamus owes would be met and dealt with. So, I mean, for people or proponents of indigenous companies being allowed to work and being encouraged and given the opportunity to work, this is welcoming news.
And so we will just wait to see what will be happening. The government is supposed to come up with 3 people, the company will come up with 3 people, and they will be managing the company for the next 12 months. And they said that they will return with a roadmap by 2 weeks' time to government. So we'll wait to see what will be the content of that. But I think it's congratulations to local content, and that is really, really beautiful. Let's go to the messages now, Fred.
Let's start from the Volta region, specifically Abutia 30. This is Wales Yoga. He says, I support the Supreme Court's decision to dismiss Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah's injunction application. Allowing the High Court judges to sit during the legal vacation ensures that justice is not delayed. Continuity in trials is essential for maintaining judicial efficiency and addressing pressing legal matters, reflecting our commitment to a responsive and active justice system.
Akasokri Joseph in Bongo says, even before the Supreme Court verdict, we, the loyal listeners and viewers of Citi FM and Channel 1 TV, had already thrown the case out. Legal vacation isn't mandatory, hence implementation of systems to compensate individuals who voluntarily or by any means devote their times to serve on such times. It's simply overtime duty. Kennedy Onipaya says you cannot suspend the work of the judiciary. The Constitution guarantees its independence. The MPP should give us a break. Fred.
This one is from Cornelius in Sunyane. He says, thumbs up and are equal to the councils that did this fantastic job today for God and country, especially Mr. Reginald Niodwe, Esquire. They deserve international awards.
Okay. Isaac Nyendong in Tamale says, we are shocked. How can someone serve in prison and still pick up forms to lead NPP? What message are they sending to the youth? Ghanaians are watching. Fred.
This is Sonny. Sonny says, Kojo Upon Nkrumah knows he has a very bad case, but just wants his name to go into the law books of Ghana. I think they should be fining him or putting a heavy fine on him.
Okay. Wellington iStar says, this is a message from Ho West. He says, good evening, Sanda. Selling nomination forms to Chairman Wontumi, who is jailed for illegal galamsey, undermines the integrity of the NPP. While they may draw comparison to Kwame Nkrumah's electoral success, history shows that such tactics would not resonate with the public. NPP should reconsider this path. It only damages their credibility and party values.
And this from Ishmael. He says, good evening, Umaru. I am happy that Kojo Upon Nkrumah's case has been thrown out by the Supreme Court. For Chairman Wontumi, he cannot contest because the Constitution has made it clear that any party member who is facing jail term must not be allowed to contest any position. That's from Ishmael. We, the people from Oyarifa, says, let's assume I am a Zoom Lion customer. I have gone on vacation and left somebody to take care of the house and other matters. Can Zoom Lion withdraw their services because I have gone on vacation? What does that have to do with my travels? This is exactly the situation with the court. Lawyers are independent legal practitioners. They cannot dictate to the court.
All right, let's take a message from Daniel in Katamanso, and he says, after paying the Akosombo Dam spillage victims, the president should also order the finance minister to pay for the people who were affected by the banking cleanup exercise. It was part of the NDC campaign promise. Zoomline should stop the Zoomline should stop the disinfections exercise. After all, this government has cancelled all their contracts in respect to sanitation. Romanus Derry in Offenso North. Thread.
Romanus says the MPP must stop the hypocrisy. They have always been judges mandated, or there have been always been judges mandated to sit for special cases since time immemorial.
Prof says every school has a PTA with elected executive committee. I suggest when something happens in a school, try to engage the school PTA chairman or any executive for proper feedback. All right, thank you.
Yakubu Ibn Chambers in Wale Wale says, this Bugis rape scandal presents a glorious opportunity for a total exorcism of the recruitment scheme of the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service. A lot of rot has been swept under the carpet in various second cycle institutions because the recruitment process has been hijacked by the politicians and square pegs forced into round holes.
That's Yakubu Chambers in Wale Wale. Nik Kojo in Wager says, Umaru, good evening. Please tell Kojo Upon Nkrumah that those who didn't believe in the private sector are working with them than those that did. And then there's Hack from where?
Hack says, after Kojo Upon Nkrumah's suit was dismissed, he said they achieved something. They got to know the court cases are different, have different interests. Kojo forgot that Jachikwesin had during their time also had to go to court every day.
Fred, this issue of the NPP nominations that has been opened, I had a conversation with you on the Situation Room yesterday, and I think it's a point that ought to be reiterated. It has to do with Bernard Enchebo-Siakun, Chairman Wontumi. Let's not treat Chairman Wontumi as a politician for a moment. Let's not treat him as a popular personality. Let's treat him as what the law treats him as now, as a common criminal. The law knows Chairman Wontumi now as someone who has engaged in a crime. In the eyes of the Lord, through the courts, which delivers justice, Chairman Wontumi has engaged in an illegality. What is the illegality that he engaged in? He was given a concession to mine gold. Now, under the law, if a concession is given to you, it is your exclusive, you have it in exclusive possession. You cannot alienate or you cannot transfer it to somebody. You can only do the transfer when the Minister for Lands has given you a license to do so or a permit to do so. The state went to court to say that Chairman Wontumi gave his land out to somebody to mine without a permission from the minister. That is the crux of the argument. And that person engaged in some sort of mining. Chairman Wontumi put up a defense and said he did not give the land to the person to mine. Rather, he gave the land to the person to reclaim, that after mining, he should go and cover up the pits and plant trees and all of that. The court heard arguments from both sides, but the court was not convinced by Chairman Wontumi's argument. The court said, using circumstantial evidence, that even though there may not be express instruction that Wontumi has given to this gentleman to go and mine, there's an implied direction that has been given in the fact that you cannot ask someone to go and reclaim land when you have not paid him for it. So clearly you made him go and do gold mining so that he'll give you proceeds. So the court decided that he was guilty and sentenced him. Now, 20 years is very harsh, and for a court to impose 20 years, there are a lot of considerations. Before judges impose sentences, they consider a number of things. They consider your age, they consider whether you are a first-time offender, they consider whether you are remorseful. They also consider the level of crime that you committed and what it means to the society. If the society is finding that particular crime repugnant, they want to punish you heavily so that it will serve as deterrent. The judge could have done 15, but the judge decided to do 20. Clearly, reading the law, the judge has done the right thing by applying the law. And if someone is sentenced, it means they have committed a crime, they are a criminal person, and so he's in jail. So such a person, first of all, by the law does not have good character. His movement is curtailed. His rights that he has in the Constitution, a lot of them would be curtailed momentarily. The New Patriotic Party, Development in Freedom, the party that has tested our laws and helped enhance our laws. There are so many cases, NPP versus Attorney General, where the NPP has sought to have the law properly defined. For the New Patriotic Party to rely on nobody but one person who is in jail to be its chairman, for me, I find it troubling. The fact that they already have other people running for this position, the former chairman, Paul Afoko, the former General Secretary, John Boydu, the former Minister for Energy, Wache Jakun, and then you cannot choose between these three. You insist that you have to get someone who is in jail to come and run as your chairman. For me, I find that very surprising, and I think that it is not proper for a party that works with democracy. That's just my view.
Yeah, Sandra, you have articulated very well the position of the law. Now, you move from the law into the political space. The question is, what is the position of the NPP when it comes to the trial and sentencing of Chairman Wontumi? What has the party believed all this time round? Do they believe the law was applied properly?
They say no.
They say no.
Mm-hmm.
They say that the man in question is a political prisoner. He was not treated fairly. They believe that the way the whole process went was politically motivated. If you're a party who has taken that stance, and I'm saying this because the party organizer held a press conference in the name of the national executive to speak for the party and made it very clear that this gentleman is a political prisoner. If you're a party who believes that one of your members who was seeking to run for chairman is a political prisoner, and you've opened nominations for people to come and pick forms to contest the position of chairman, what moral right are you going to stand and tell the person that don't pick because you're a prisoner? You don't. Mm-hmm. You don't have that moral right, mm-hmm. because you have already come out to say that this person
you've tied your hands already.
Is a political prisoner. Mm-hmm. So why are you going to stop him from picking it? You have spoken the law side of it. Yeah. That is fine. But the politics of it and the moral ground for which the party will say that you are a convict, and because of the fact that you're a convict, will not let you run.
Especially when you have held the view that the conviction is wrong.
Yes, it's going to be very questionable.
And he's appealing.
And
you are believing that he would come out.
And in fact, you have even given him lawyers.
Yeah. You're helping with the appeal.
To appeal.
I think we want to see how the NPP will navigate this particular issue. Now that he has picked up forms, we'll see whether it will be filed.
The question is, will the state allow him to come out of prison to be vetted? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's the next thing. And I doubt the state will do that. But I mean, we are in Ghana and we'll see what happens.
We'll to see. Thank you so much, Fred Tete Jabano. It's our head of current affairs here. I am Omar Sandamadu. This has been Eyewitness News, produced by Beverly London, Juliana Odami Asare, Kwabena Wilson. Technical support from Emmanuel Lati, and new media support from Edwin Kwakofi and the new media team. Eyewitness News will be back on Monday at 1700 GMT. But up next, I'm leaving you in the hands of the most listened to sports program in the Northern Hemisphere. And I'm joined by the host, Gabilolo Milito.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, Sanda. You good?
Something big is happening in England.
Yes. After 89 days, the Premier League is back. And after 33 days after the World Cup final, there's another football season which starts tonight at the Emirates. Arsenal, the defending champions. Can they retain the title?
No, they don't retain, but I mean,
they have Coventry to deal with tonight.
Oh, so
managed by somebody who's won the Premier League before. These days, he coaches that team in Coventry, in Frank Lampard. Can they go past it? We'll see what happens to them. But there's a lot of football to come. For the next, few days, you're looking at about 380 matches in the English Premier League. And every Saturday, Sunday, we'll be here, the Republic of Football, to run you through all the updates, the statistics, the history behind these teams, who is moving where, the Ghanaian players playing in the Premier League also. There's two players, as we speak, we have two players actually playing.
Okay.
That's Brandon Thomas Asante and then Caleb Jurinchi. They play for Coventry City. In fact, the two players combined to score a goal at the World Cup, if you followed, and also combined to score a goal in the friendly against Wolves. So
the game has already started?
Yeah, the game has started.
Oh, then let me leave the studio for you. I was going to ask you if you have found a club for Jordan Ayew, but since it's not...
Oh, he's still in Ghana.
No.
Yeah, he's still a free agent.
Let's look for a club for him. People, I'm leaving you in the hands of Gabi.
City News, we speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302-224959 and get interactive on Facebook. City 97.3 FM.